We're on?
We're on.
How'd you do that?
With my watch. It's handy.
You can hit record with the watch?
I just
All right,
did.
guys, I'm going to take a page
Go.
out of Robert's book. Brother Robert said on his Sunday school video that he's only going to do it once. He's not going to do it multiple times. So that's what we're going to do it tonight.
One and done.
Yep, so as you can see, tonight we're not at the kitchen table. We are on the front porch. And Miss Amanda actually does not quite know what we're doing. Just told her to come on for the ride, and so she has no clue really how the subject matter is going to go, but she's going to play along with us tonight.
We have had the devotion with the kids at the kitchen table.
Right, you're right.
It's
So
not foregoing that.
yeah, so we ate dinner, we had our devotion just like we do every night, and one of the traditions at our house is after we do the devotion, the kids clean the kitchen, and me and Amanda sit on the front porch.
You can probably see them running back and forth in the windows because that's our kitchen. So.
Probably so. So we sit on the front porch, we talk, sometimes have a cup of coffee, and get away from the childrens for a little bit, but breathe for a minute. Right now, Henry, we laid him down, I think.
No. He's sitting with him again.
He's sitting with him again. So hopefully he don't stop scream through this video. But we're going to do something different tonight. We showed you the family devotion. Now we're showing you what we do after the family devotion while the kids clean the kitchen. Me and Amanda sit on the front porch. And I wanted to just talk a little bit about the significance of that and what it's done for us in our marriage. I just kind of go back just a little bit. We've been married for 12 years. 12 years. Wow. Great marriage video. 12 years. So we got married in January 5th, 2008. And if y'all remember, the economy crashed that year. And hey, in 2007 when we met in June, and we're engaged by October and September. We still argue that, but I think it was October. She thinks it's September. 29. But anyways, I don't remember the engagement date because the marriage date is what counts. The whole anniversary, go out on a date anniversary about the whatever. There's only one anniversary. Anyways, we met in June, we're married in January. That's the point. 6 months, that's it. Things went pretty quick, but we knew for sure it was the Lord's will from the very get-go.
2-3 weeks in?
Yeah, well, first date, I think. But
first date. I did come home.
We went on a double date for the first date, and we got home. I dropped her off at her parents' house, and we sat on the front porch talking for 2 hours until her mom cuts the lights on and says it's time to come in. So
the lights were already on. She flickered.
Yeah, flickering the lights means go home, Josh.
And I went in and told her.
And the longer,
I said, I'll probably marry that guy.
Yeah, and the longer we knew each other, the more flicks of the switch it took to get me to go home. But no, so it all started on a front porch, and so it's a lot to do with what the conversation is tonight. And we're excited to be married. One of the things I told her when we first started dating was that I was going into the ministry, and if that wasn't something that she was on board for, then I need to keep on looking. My mom told me I was crazy for saying that right off the bat. And she said I was going to run all the girls off, and I said that's exactly my point. When one doesn't run away, that's the one I want. So yeah, thank the Lord for that. But anyways, I could talk all night about our marriage and testimony and things like that, but I'm going to fast forward many years past our first marriage into 2018.
10 years later?
Yep, 10 years later, 2018. Well, let me go back real quick. I had to bring this up because of what we're going through now and the coronavirus, and people are losing their jobs. And you can say what you will about the virus itself, whether or not it's worth it or not, but the reality is people are losing their jobs, and that kind of bothers me more than the virus itself. And I heard about a couple of people this week. And in 2008, we got married in January. I came home on Valentine's Day and said, "Honey, I just lost my job."
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day. I lost my job.
Here's some flowers.
The market was crashing. Things were going on. It was bad time. But you know what? The Lord gave us an even better job, a better opportunity. Things were better. But it took a long time. It took many years recover from that. It was rough on us for a long time, but the Lord taught us very early in our marriage, the first couple of months, well, the second month, that we have to live by faith. And ever since then, we've tried to live by faith and not just rely on our deeds and our works, but rely on the Lord. And it's been important for us. But
we
going,
learned that living by faith was fun.
Yeah, living by faith is fun. You never know when the next blessing's coming. You never know when a check shows up in the mail. We've had it many times where, power bills due and exactly what we needed came in the mail. It's just been amazing to see God work over our 12 years of marriage. But going back to the front porch and how it all started, we got in a habit of coming to the front porch, and it was just a thing for us, but it really became significant in 2018 when we went to the doctor and we found out one day that there was too much fluid there. We were expecting Nathan and there was too much fluid, and we came home not really knowing what that meant. We had to wait for the test to come in, and I remember sitting on the front porch for hours just contemplating, what does this mean? What is the test results going to say? And one thing led to another. It was on the front porch where we got the call from our doctor, Dr. Boots Taylor, that we had trisomy 18. And throughout that year, it was the most difficult year of our life. Amanda carried Nathan the entire time, knowing that he was going to pass, and it was very difficult. I give her so much credit for that. We wouldn't have done anything differently. Don't get me wrong. We're totally against abortion, no matter the situation, 100%. However, it was tough. We spent every day, every evening on this front porch, crying, talking about the future, talking about scenarios, and it was difficult. And we prayed a lot, read the Bible, we just listened to gospel music. Sometimes we just sat here quietly and didn't say a word. But I'll say that the significance of the front porch for me was it actually brought us closer together during that time. It was the time that we were on the porch, not talking with our kids. They didn't know what we were talking about, but discussing that situation with Nathan and praying and getting closer to each other. And, I wouldn't have said we were in a bad place or nothing like that. We were serving the Lord. Everything was fine, but I believe it brought our relationship on another level going through that. And then after he passed, we spent many moments on the front porch after that, and when everything calmed down and we had the burial and it was all over, we would just sit on the front porch and drink a cup of coffee and talk about it even more. And it really has been something that's been important really in our marriage. I think we didn't plan it that way, never really thought about it. Like I said, we did the video tonight. Amanda didn't even know what I was really covering. I just said I was going to talk about marriage a little bit, so she's not real sure. This is all brand new to her, so I'm going to give her a minute to think about what she's going to say, because I'm catching her by surprise. But I think the front porch has signified for us the importance of having the private time, alone time, where you can discuss and have conversations. It's great we play with the kids. I was playing with them in the yard just a little while ago. We do a lot with our children, but it's important to have mommy and daddy time as well. And I think the Lord is honors that. He wants us to work on our relationship, just like we work on our relationship with the Lord, and we try to get closer to the Lord, and we study the Word of God, which draws us closer to Him. We ought to get closer to our spouses and study each other and grow closer to each other. And conversation is one of the main ways to do that. There's other ways, but that's one of the things that we need to do and that's where I fail a lot of times. Yeah. Amanda's thing is like she'll be talking at night and I'll just straight fall asleep. I'm the guy on the recliner that I'm out just because I laid my head back. So I think that having the front porch, and specifically after dinner, we do devotion, the kids clean the kitchen, we come to the front porch. And for me, it works out since I have a little bout of narcolepsy, I guess. Yes. I'm literally, my head's back, I'm out cold. So I think that's important. That's not happened on the front porch. I don't think that's ever happened on the front porch. So that's saying something. So yeah. But I felt led to just share that and share. We could talk for hours about how we met on the softball field, church league softball field, and how, let's see, that video is acting up here. The battery's going dead. Sorry about that, guys. But
just real quick, it doesn't have to be the front porch. Some people have car dates. I think a lot of people think you have to go out on a date and spend money and go somewhere and have a babysitter. Well, that's not in the cards for us to pay for a babysitter every time we want to have an outing. So you don't have to do that. You can just even go to your bedroom and set the chairs up and sit there, or just have some time where it's just you and your husband, and your children know that you set aside a time. Growing up, my parents would do the dishes, and my parents would leave the house. They'd get in their car, and I don't know where they went. I don't know what they did. No telling. And they're
gonna watch this video, and
they come
you're gonna hear about this one.
And it was never a question. Like, we had an hour or so, 2 hours, whatever it was, to clean the kitchen, and it had to be done by the time they got home. And we knew that they set aside time to spend with each other. And we don't intentionally do that because my parents did that, but as he was talking about it, it kind of came to memory. Well, that's kind of what I saw growing up, is that they spent time after dinner together. And so it doesn't have to be a date, like going out and spending money. It just needs to be a time that you set aside to have conversation. And the moments that I get the most aggravated with Josh, it's because we don't sit on the front porch, or it's because we don't communicate. That's a big part of a relationship, especially for women, to communicate. And when that is off, then other things are off. So, give it a try.
Yeah, the Lord obviously blessed us with Henry. It's been exciting. He's healthy. We're thankful for him. We still love Nathan, even though he's with the Lord. We love all of our children. I'd say one thing that happened after the Nathan situation, where it was literally a year of mourning, waiting for the day that he would pass away, and knowing the whole year it was going to happen. We've laughed probably more in the last year than we've laughed, we're a little more goofier. We cut up last night. We were laughing about an Uno game and going on about that, playing Uno with the kids. And I think that's not something that really we worked on. It just kind of happened, and we've been through a lot in the ministry. We've seen a lot of ups and downs, and no matter what, I know that Amanda's going to be there. If I come to her and I say, hey, the Lord's leading and our family this way, she'll follow. She might not be looking forward to it or necessarily want to do it, but she's always, I know she's there when it comes to the ministry, because she believes that the Lord's going to, show us both, but definitely direct me on where our family should go. And I've never questioned whether or not she would, follow when it comes to the ministry and things like that.
Or anything else.
Or anything else. Yeah, anything else. But, that was the big point to me, because when you talk about the ministry, I mean, you never know what the Lord might do. And I'm thankful to be serving at Way of the Cross and serving with our pastor and his wife. They're an awesome couple. And they're awesome pastor's wife, good family, great family. But they're a good couple too. They love each other, and we thank the Lord for that. It's good to see both of them there. I've met, pastors and their wives that, the wives have been hurt in ministry, and you don't never see them or what have you, but it's good to see them both there serving together, and we love them. We're thankful for them, but we're young still, and we have a lot.
Yes, we are.
We have a long ways to go, but I think that when you look at the elderly people and that have been married 50 and 60 years, I'm sure they've spent many hours on a front porch, or wherever they go, in the basement or whatever it might be, on a car ride on an afternoon. I heard, was it Sister Bachelor had put a post. It was a public post. So I'm gonna tell her story, but she had put on Facebook. Amanda read it to me that they needed to get out of the house and would just drive up to Atlanta, and drove down some of the old neighborhoods that they used to live in up there. And,
car dates.
Yeah, like a car date, just driving. And I thought, that is really cool. I enjoyed hearing that story about the bachelors, the car horn. Somebody's breaking in. We live in the country, but no telling. Oh, it's off. Okay, good.
So it just sat on the button.
So, we've got a lot. I was going to read a couple of verses, and, I just kind of Googled, verses about marriage, King James verses about marriage. There's no study in here. This is just straight up. I'm Googling a couple of verses and see what pops up. I found it interesting because, sometimes you read a verse and okay, that's about marriage. And other times you're like, wait a minute, what are they talking about? But here's the ones that came up when I just Googled it. It says, now concerning the things whereof you wrote unto me, it is good for a man not to touch a woman. Therefore, short engagement. Amen. Hallelujah. Let's see. Charity suffereth long. We know the good verse about love. Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands as unto the Lord. Whoso findeth a wife findeth a good thing and obtaineth favor of the Lord. Now that one's interesting. A lot of people read the first part of the verse, findeth a wife, findeth a good thing, but obtaineth favor. Man, that's pretty sweet right there. Marriage is honorable in all, and the bed undefiled. Therefore shall a man leave the father and mother and cleave unto his wife. That's the leave and cleave principle. We're big on that. Listen, once you get married, if you're a young couple watching this, you've got to have the alone time. You've got to separate. You got to have. That's part of what the honeymoon is getting you away from the world. And I would encourage you when you first get married, have some private time your first year of your marriage where it's just you two learning each other.
Step away from your family.
We go on. It says, husbands, love your wives, even as Christ loved the church. We all know that one. I like this one. It is better to dwell in a corner of the housetop than with a brawling woman in a wide house. Quoted that one a few times, but not really. But that's a good verse there. And there's so many others that you can go down. House and riches are the inheritance of fathers, and a prudent wife is from the Lord. And there's a lot of other verses that come up, but I'll say that for sure, that the Lord gave me Amanda, and therefore I need to take care of it. If somebody gives you a gift, you want to take care of it, and I believe the Lord sent me Amanda. And, her upbringing, her brought up the same doctrine, same beliefs, reads the right kind of Bible, sings the right kind of music, plays, is talented when it comes to the gospel music and service of the Lord. So no doubt the Lord gave her to me, and I thank the Lord for her every day. Sometimes I forget to tell her that. But that goes back to the communication. So, I'd encourage you all just to communicate. That's what this is about. This is the coronavirus. This is the, quarantine, if you will. Some might be working from home. Some might still be going to work. I'm still going to work every day.
I'm still a stay-at-home mom. Nothing much changes for me.
Amanda's a stay-at-home mom, but she's having to do the schooling now instead of them going to school. So, there's some changes there. But if you don't communicate, whether you're at work every day or quarantined together, you still got to communicate either way. And so I wanted to just share that with everybody and tell you that, look, for us, going through hard times just brings us closer together. But a lot of couples will go through hard times and they'll get divorced, they'll be separated. The only thing I can say about that is because they're not close to the Lord. I'll never forget our cousin Derek, pastors in Loganville, who taught us the triangle. If you draw a triangle and the husband's on this side of the triangle, the wife's on this side, and God's up at the top of the triangle, as the husband and the wife get closer to God in that triangle, they get closer to each other. And so for us, going through hard times brings us closer together. So I kind of was like, well, we need to really work on our relationship and stay close so the Lord will quit sending the hard times. But obviously,
it's like when I like to use the analogy that when if you're on a boat in the middle of a storm, you're not going to jump out of the boat. You're going to hang on tighter.
Right.
So when you're in a storm in life, hang on to the Lord a little bit tighter. Like, people jump ship all the time. Well, of course things are going to get rough. When you jump ship, just hang on.
But that'll preach. Right? She doesn't give any of my sermons, but that'll preach. Because
I know it will.
I told you, we didn't plan any of this. This is total impromptu. But listen, for real though, if you hold on to the Lord a little bit tighter, you hold on to your husband a little bit tighter.
Yeah.
But what happens is people go through storms in their marriage.
And they jump ship.
And they jump ship when they really, drown. If they should be holding on to the Lord and holding on to each other tighter. And for us, that's what's been so true for our life, and I thank the Lord for it. And I hope that, if you're out there, you're going through something, or maybe in the future you might go through something, and just remember that, you get closer to the Lord, you get closer to each other. And we encourage all the Way of the Cross families and couples to draw closer to the Lord, draw closer to each other. Use this time to relearn each other. Use this time to get to know each other even more. And we thank the Lord for that. Amanda, do you have anything else?
Just enjoy your front porch time.
Enjoy your front porch time.
Make your kids clean the kitchen.
We've been working on ours. Amanda replanted our gardens.
Our kitchen? No.
No, not the kitchen. No. We planted the front garden beds have been kind of ugly for a couple of years, and the last Saturday we got out and ripped them all out and restarted everything. So we're excited to sit on the front porch, watch our garden grow, and watch our marriage grow. We'll see y'all next time. Y'all have a good week. God bless.